I was working 2 jobs plus I call, my TapouT business a third job. So I had like 3 jobs. I would go to one job all day, and then I would go to my part-time job I was a part-time police officer at a college, and then I would go there for like 5 hours, and then I would leave and I would go straight to, by the time we got this little tiny, $300 little shop that we could ship product out of, I would go there at like midnight and ship product, and then go to sleep and do it all over again.
No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids,
and everything in between.
There is no failure except failure to serve one's purpose. Quote by Henry Ford. Follow your paths. It will lead you to your purpose. Quote by Oprah Winfrey.
Welcome to the Pretty and Punk podcast. My name is Dan Caldwell, and I'm here with my beautiful daughter and my beautiful wife.
Aww.
And
Ildiko Ferenczi.
Yeah, we have another great podcast for you guys today. We're talking about, because we did a coaching call today, and we were talking to someone, and we wanted to discuss when is the best time to quit your 9-to-5 job, your regular job, your real job. I said not your real job. It's probably not a good word for it. When is it time to quit that job that you've been doing, that 9-to-5 job, and chase your purpose?
Purpose over paycheck. That's our episode.
Well, is that what you came up with?
I just came up with it right now.
Okay, well, we both done it, so I guess you could consider us experts, if we could say that.
Yeah.
And there's some things that trigger. I know there's some things in my story when I decided to quit my job as a police officer to go chase my purpose, or what I felt like was my purpose at the time, and my passion or my purpose, and so let's talk about it. But before we jump into that, hey guys, we hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Pretty and Punk podcast, and if you are and you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It just takes a second. It means so much to us because it really helps the podcast get out there to more listeners like you guys. And if you know anybody it might help and you can send it to them, we really appreciate that too.
We also love and appreciate your reviews. Even the babies look forward to them every day. If you share this episode on social media today, don't forget to tag us. We want to celebrate you because we know it's not easy being a parent in business, and the way that you juggle things makes you a superhero. That's worth a shout out. Together, we have a community of our personal followers as well, and we just want to put it out there. We want to show everybody that this juggle is possible, and you are our family, and we're so proud and grateful to have you a part of this family. So don't forget, all the links are below in the show notes. And thank you again. And let's get back to the show. Purpose over paycheck. Are you finding yourself more excited about your side hustle than your day job? Is your business ideas keeping you up at night and you cannot wait to work on them? Is that kind of the record that played in your head when you thought it was time?
Of course. I think I would do a lot of my work at my other work. I would do because I had to, because I didn't have any. That's all I could think about when I was. Right. We're at the beginning of this company, and you're trying to think of ideas, and you're trying to become profitable, and you're trying to make money, and you really do. You're thinking about the one day that you'll be able to quit your job.
Right.
But the only way you can do that is if you can start to get make some money from your side hustle or
That's
from
right.
your purpose, this business that you're calling your purpose. If it can start to make money, you're thinking one day I'm going to be able to quit my job so I can go do this full time.
Yeah. I feel that's the same for me when it's taken over every part of your brain and you just no longer have that connection to the job. It's time to move on. But of course, you need that financial readiness too. And you can almost have a date when you're going to quit, but you don't actually give the notice because you're just saving up a little bit of money because you want to have what would you say? A couple months, 3 months of emergency money stocked up, and don't give in your final, what would you say? Like a 6 months notice or like,
Well, I think the
so
first
you
thing,
can go back if in case it doesn't work out. It's going to work out, but
well,
some
you're
people
hoping
just
that you can give
want
a
the
6 months
security.
notice, but not
Yeah.
everybody has that luxury of having that type of job where they're willing to take you back, or you may never want to come back. I mean, I look at it like I'm burning the boats. When I leave,
Yeah,
I'm
same.
done. I'm
Same.
not coming back.
Yeah.
And so I would rather stay as long as I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, guys, I think, wouldn't you agree that it's okay to have a job and run your business? I mean, you
Right.
could do that forever if you wanted to.
But
But-
if you are finding yourself getting pulled behind because of the job, where you would be more value doing your purpose. I don't like to use the word passion because I feel like we all have a purpose within us. And when we find that purpose, and it may only be, a few years and then another purpose comes your way. But when you start to feel like the day job, let's call it the day job, is pulling away from your purpose, and you could be making more money. When you could be more valuable. Let's just say you're more valuable fully to your purpose
Right.
job
Yeah.
than your day job.
Yeah,
and
I know.
it's really time to go.
When I was working 2 jobs, plus I call, my TapouT business a third job. So I had like 3 jobs. I would go to one job all day, and then I would go to my part-time job I was a part-time police officer at a college, and then I would go there for a few hours, for like 5 hours, and then I would leave and I would go straight to by the time we got this little tiny, $300 little shop that we could ship product out of, I would go there at like midnight and ship product,
Work
and then
all
go to
night.
sleep and do
Yeah.
it all over again.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I remember doing the night jobs, like doing the concrete and being up while everybody else is sleeping. But that's the dream.
Because you felt like, when you're there and you're doing it, you're feeling like
It's
you're
a lot.
living that dream.
Yeah, you're alive.
doing
You're
exactly
so
what you said you
alive.
were going to do.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You've identified clear opportunities for growth and expansion in your business that you can't pursue while you're juggling that other full-time job. So I think that it's very crystal clear that it's time
Yeah,
to
it made it
leave.
really, I realized the day I think I realized that I needed to leave my job was, I remember I was a police officer, and I was so tired from working these, basically 3 jobs, that I used to forward the business phone to my cell phone, so that when I got, because we basically had 24-hour ordering. Somebody could order 24 hours a day whenever they wanted to. So when I was at home asleep, I would turn on my ringer as loud as I could. So if somebody called in the middle of the night, like from the UK or something, because they had different
Yeah.
hours than us, I could take the order. And so when I was at work, I would do the same thing. I would forward the business number from when it was at the house or the shop, wherever it was. I would forward it to my cell phone. So when I was at work, I would have it on my cell phone. Well, one day I'm in my police unit and I'm there and I'm trying to like not fall asleep, but I think maybe I'll try to like just close my eyes for a second. Well, I pass out, I guess, and I get a call, and I always answered my cell phone, TapouT Clothing.
Oh,
well, I ended up picking up the mic to the police unit, the microphone to the dispatcher, and said TapouT Clothing. And of course, everybody at the office knew my MO. They knew what I was doing. They knew I had this company.
Yeah.
And so they go, Caldwell, you're on the wrong mic.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to quit. I'm done. So I think within like 2 weeks, I'd quit that job and said, it's time to go. You know, it's like,
awesome.
I got
That's
orders
funny.
coming in. And I think, so I think one of the important things, the first thing that you have to look at is your company making money?
Yeah, that's, yes.
Is it making money?
That's critical. It's
And
very
is
important.
it growing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it growing? And does it have the potential to grow? Because,
Right, exactly.
Because sometimes, like I think you just said this,
The opportunities for growth and
If you're
expansion.
there,
Yes.
you're better. You're serving a better purpose being there at the office. And if you can actually make more money, knowing that if I leave my regular job and I go do this full time,
Exactly.
can I make more money doing this than if I was not there?
Right.
And then can that money match the money at some point what I'm making at my regular job?
Yeah.
Because once you realize that you can do that you can quit your job and make more money doing your purpose or your dream job, then that's one of the things that you need to look at. And if you can say yes, then it's probably time to quit.
Yeah. For me, I knew it was time because we had contracts lined up with deposits, and it was the list was long, and that gave me, I want to say, a security blanket. Like I just felt like I could finally take a deep breath and jump in. I was safe. I knew I would be okay. So that was the clear go, let's go sign.
And then I think the second thing you have to look at is there some consistency to your revenue? Because
that's
important.
if
if all of a sudden you get one big paycheck and you're like, okay, now I can quit, but it's not consistent at all, and you're not showing any consistency over time, then you're going to be sweating bullets when it comes time to pay rent or car payments or whatever you need to pay.
But don't give up, Destiny just said.
And
You're
don't
right.
give up. You're right, Destiny.
You're
It's not give
right,
up.
girl.
Why did you quit?
Well, no, I mean quit my old job to go do my purpose,
Yes.
to go build this company that I believed in, that I knew could be something special. And I think you touched on it a little bit too. I think the third thing you need to know, besides, so number one being, you need to know that your business is making money. Number two, you need to have some consistency in that money, knowing that it's continuing to make money and that,
Right, the
and that
growth
it's growing.
opportunities. Yeah.
And then number three, I think you need to have some financial runway, which you touched on for a second. You need to have a
Yes.
little bit of money in the bank
Saved up.
so that if something happens right away, that maybe you got 2 or 3 months worth of extra money, or you're not quite to what you're knowing that if you quit tomorrow, you're not going to be making exactly what you were making at your job.
Right.
You're not there yet.
Right.
So if you have a little bit of runway in the bank, then you'll be okay. You'll feel okay that, hey, look, I'm going to get that money up, but I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow. So, but I know I'm okay. I'm secure, and I can rest assured that there's a little bit of money in the bank.
Right. And also, like, in your head, calculate, I don't know what kind of, business you're getting into, but there's slow seasons and there's peak seasons, and everything goes up and down. For the jewelry store, January was slow. December was busy. Valentine's Day, but there was always birthdays and special occasions. So jewelry party shops, those types of things, you can kind of plan for it. So yes, you always want to have a bit of a nest egg, and also for emergencies.
Yeah, because that's hard in the retail business. You could decide, hey, I'm going to quit in November or December because orders are going crazy, but you're not thinking about that January is going to be dead slow in your retail business. And now that you quit, are you going to be able to pay your rent? You're going to be able to pay your car payment?
Don't worry.
You're going to lose everything.
Valentine's Day is coming, but...
So I think that's another thing that we'll just add to the list, that you need to kind of overlook your financial situation. What are your obligations? What are the things that you know you have to pay? And what can you get rid of? What can you pull out of that? How can I, cut some of those things out of my life, whatever I don't need, that eating out every night or whatever that might be.
Oh, yeah.
So that you're not worried so much about money at that point, and you can concentrate on your business and concentrate and figure out how you're going to build it.
Right.
So you can start paying for that stuff if you need it.
Daniel wanted to add something. What did you want to add?
So I think the best time to quit your job is once your other job that is your purpose is making a lot more money than your 9-to-5 job. That's when I think the best time to quit is on your 9-to-5 is.
And that's a great answer, Daniel.
That's
and you know what? That's true too. Although I felt like, and this is just me personally, and I think Daniel, you would obviously be in a lot better place if that's what you did.
I agree with you because that's what I did. But Daddy, I think, is about to give us.
Well, for me, when I got to the point, I wasn't making as much in the business as I was at the 2 jobs that I had. And it took 2 jobs to pay for all the stuff that I was, I had been fired from a job from my police officer job, and I had to get this part-time job at this college for as a police officer, and get this job at this casino as like their Indian casino police officer. And I was doing whatever I could so I could pay my bills, and I didn't have any extra money. But it was when I got this. But TapouT, it wasn't making quite as much money, but I knew that if I quit, there were like 3 things I could do to help make that money. Right. I knew if I had the time and I wasn't going to, this job for 8 hours and then this job for 4 or 5 hours and then going straight to TapouT and shipping product, if I wasn't having to do all that, that I could concentrate on getting into these retail stores that I knew I could get into if I just put some time and effort into it.
Yeah.
And what became my job was, at the beginning, I had this old black beat up TapouT van, and I would put clothes on consignment into these stores, and I would drive to these stores in the van and put the clothing in there, and then count out what was sold, and they would have to pay me on that product. And I felt so much better about myself when I'm driving around in my TapouT van, going to these places and picking up money, and that felt like I was in my purpose at the time.
Yeah.
Rather than doing something that I felt like was leading me nowhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. I remember the days of doing the residential. And that's the thing, is you saw the opportunity in your company for growth. Just like where I started, it was residential. And that was thousands of dollars. It was good money. And I could have stayed there forever, but I had my eye on the executive homes. And then going to commercial and then civil. It's a whole different ball game getting those kinds of contracts.
So
we got the little ones in here because they only feel good playing by us.
I'm like, guys,
it's okay.
Guys, we only have a podcast going. Does anybody not hear us having a podcast going?
I honestly didn't even notice because they're around me all day. My husband likes to lock in the room.
Can we lock you guys in a closet for a little bit?
Dan will lock himself in a room so he has peace and quiet. But when I do stuff, I've got them. So for me, I don't even
well, I'm on a phone call. It's a little bit different. Oh boy, there goes the podcast.
No, it's only just begun. So anyway, okay, guys.
So I think one of the last things that are really important is that you just have to mentally and physically and every part of your being has to be 150% in.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself, believe that you can do this, believe that it's time to quit, believe that you were meant for this. And when, because I think mentally, if you're so worried about quitting your job to go do this, it's probably not time to quit your job yet.
Yeah.
You have to be in a comfortable place. I felt like I was done. I'm quitting tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm out of here.
You just knew it. I think we should hit on maybe 3 points that can help people exit. So create a transition plan. Outline a detailed plan that includes timelines, financial goals, and key milestones. And this is going to help you stay focused and organized during that shift. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I just like, I think it's smart to write out all your bills. Mm-hmm. And so that plan is all, so everything's written out, like the things that I need to pay,
secure
the
the
things
finances.
that I can't pay.
Yeah.
Where can I also, I think when we talked about earlier, I think it's good to put it down on paper.
Yes,
What are the things that you can do in your business once you're able to quit your job? What are the things you can do in your business to increase your revenues?
Yes.
How are you going to spend that extra time that you have now to increase those revenues so that it makes sense that you quit your job? So then when your parents, because I can remember my parents going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" My partner, when he quit his job, his dad almost had a heart attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he drove out to Huntington Beach to go talk to him.
See,
He's
my
like,
mom was
I
an
can't believe you
entrepreneur,
quit your
so
job.
she was
but he was
supportive.
a deputy sheriff, and his dad kind of helped him get that job. And but they don't see that yet.
Exactly.
They don't see it. It's your vision. It's not their vision. It's your vision, and they don't see that all the time.
My mom was so good that way. Okay, so anyway, I could see it probably being scary for parents, but if they raised you right and you're smart,
well, there's a logical way. If you put it out on paper, you can show them.
Exactly.
Look, I'm making X amount of dollars right now. It might not be a lot, but if I could show someone, your wife, your parents, whoever that might be, your brother, your cousins, whoever's worried about you, because you're going to have family members worried about you.
Right.
They're going to think you're crazy.
Yeah,
because it's not their vision.
Where you have to ensure that you have at least, and whatever you feel comfortable with, but at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses saved up. Then this financial cushion will give you the peace of mind as you focus on growing your business, because you said it's important
6 to
to
12
be
months.
able. Well,
I didn't have nowhere near
did.
6 to 12 months. Okay. I was like, I'm going.
Then I can see how they were.
It was go time as soon as I quit. No, it's like, I probably had about maybe a month or two.
Oh my goodness.
That's why everybody thought I was crazy. But see, in my head,
sometimes you feel
they
it
didn't know
so
what I knew.
strongly in your gut.
That's how I felt.
And
they
my
didn't
mom
know
came
what I
to the
knew.
country with nothing, Zippo, goose eggs. So she had to figure it out. And sometimes you just have to dive in and figure it out. What if you were to get fired? But thank goodness you have this backup plan. And now that's a sign from God that it's time for you to dive in.
Yeah, well,
don't panic. Focus.
That everybody's always worried about, what's going to happen when you have to do this and you have to make your own money. I'm worried about a job. I got fired from what I thought was my career, what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. And I'm more worried about that. You want to talk about not having security. Working for somebody else, you have zero security.
Yeah.
Somebody can fire you at any time. Well, most jobs, not every job, but I had a county job and I was fired. So you can lose your job for many different reasons, things you didn't even do.
Well, the economy, all kinds of things.
All kinds of things are happening. My department was getting absorbed by the sheriff's department. And so anything could happen. So that's not security.
Yeah,
I would rather, I realized once I had my own job and I could control my destiny.
Yeah.
I realized there were things that I could do that could fix that I could make more money. When I did this, I made more money. When I did that, I made more money. So I knew there were things that I could do personally to bring in more money. And I could kind of control my destiny, if you will, rather than just waiting on this fixed paycheck to come in every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then I also really want to add is I had a supportive network, but build a supportive network. Surround yourself with mentors, fellow entrepreneurs, and supportive friends and family. And I know usually it's the friends and family that are not supportive. I was really fortunate that way. My mom, as I said, she gets it. So she was right there and she, beginning stages, she was right there so excited, helping me pass out brochures and coming up with ideas, just the way that I came up with ideas when I was a little girl with her and her businesses. So it was a really interesting and fun time to have that how the roles turn around.
Yeah.
And now she's there. And when we're doing good and I could show her all these contracts and I'm buying her the Louis Vuitton and Chanel and she's just like, what the heck is going on? And I'm spoiling her because I can't have kids. So she's my baby, taking her all over the world and just really benefiting from this thing that worked out. And she was one of my believers and cheerleaders. So it was just such a fun thing. But if you don't have anybody, we'll be your people. Listen to our podcast, join our community.
Well, I think that podcasts are a perfect example of some of the things that, because you need that energy when you're going through this transition.
Guidance
you
and
need
encouragement
that push.
Are invaluable. Like, it is crazy.
Yeah, if you can start, because you're going to have times when you're walking into that office to quit, or when you're walking out of the office going, oh my gosh, what did I just do? You're going to need that support system. You're going to need somebody. You're going to probably call somebody as soon as you get done. You're going to, like, your best friend or your brother or sister and go, hey, I just quit. I just quit my job, and who knows, how long you've been at this job, or if you thought maybe this was a career at one time. And so some of those things can be hard. And just know that your family members usually, most of the time, they just want the best for you. So when they come at you, that's the reason why. And so sometimes, you don't have to give them you don't have to give them a reason, but if you can show them, look, I'm making this much money right now, and I'm putting this much time into it. If I double my time, I think I can double what I'm making. Or if I triple my time, I can triple what I'm making. Whatever that might be for you. Yeah. And show them that road to profitability. Yeah. Show them how you plan on making that money. Sit them down. The reason why they're worried about you is because they have no clue why somebody would go quit a perfectly good job that might have been hard to get. And why are you quitting that perfectly good job to go do this dream thing that you're trying to do? That's never going to work. And it takes time. I remember my mom telling me it could take 2 years. 2 years is usually her and everybody's number is different, but it took her 2 years in all her businesses. But, you'd like to beat that. Yeah, 2 years to profitability, 2 years to actually be able to support yourself under that business without bleeding money everywhere. Yeah, no, I could see that. But, at the end of the day, you're going to be happier because you did. And when you are happy, into your purpose. And you're stepping into your purpose. And when you're happy and you're stepping into your purpose and you feel like you're where you're supposed to be at that time in your life, and God is behind you, you are going to do great things. Yes. Remember, stepping out in faith can lead to incredible opportunities. As a good book says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So just trust in your journey and take that bold step forward. We believe in you, we love you, and we're here for you.
And I hope this episode helped you with where you are today.
Yeah, if you're there right now, I know it's exciting. I would pay to be where you guys are at right now. If you're there, I would pay to be in your shoes right now.
And if you've already done it, I know Dan and I are excited just looking back on what was our purpose at that time. Our purpose now is different. Our purpose now is this podcast and working together with our family. But it's amazing to just look back and reminisce of what happened when we trusted into leaping into our journey.
Great things happen. Amazing things happen. Amazing. I mean, I could not dream of the things that would happen to me. And if you know anything about my story, I mean, those are the types of things that will happen to you when you step into your purpose. And so we're excited for you.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Pretty and Punk podcast. And we'll see you guys next week.
God bless.
God bless you guys.
Best week. Yeah, you want to say something?
God bless. Thank you for listening to the Pretty and Punk podcast. I hope you liked it. Just remember, you're gonna have to take that leap. God bless. See you next week. Thank you for listening. I hope that changed your life. God bless. See you next time.